You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening. First tonight, continuing coverage of Tropical Storm Florence as it slams the Carolinas. The death toll there continues to rise. 5 confirmed deaths so far, and hundreds have had to be rescued. Let's check in with our very own Chief Meteorologist, Bob Harrigan. Bob, now that Florence is a tropical storm, does that mean the worst has already passed?
For the most part, yes. The fact that the storm surge is still going to be there, it's still life-threatening, but it's not going to be as high as it was when the system was out in the Atlantic. On top of that, the rain is still going to be intense, catastrophic, but it's not going to be as widespread, and it's not going to come down at the rate that it did when the storm was out over the Atlantic. But this is not over by any stretch. And looking at the satellite imagery, it's actually now moving to the southwest a little bit more, and the European model had suggested that would happen. Is there a chance that it could get back out into the waters? Not much, but it's very close to it, and that means the circulation, at least part of it, is still out over the water. And you can see from the satellite imagery, this cloud formation is pretty good as far as a healthy looking storm goes, and a lot more moisture is going to be coming into play as far as rainfall goes through the night and through the day tomorrow in places where they don't need the rain. The winds have come down from the 11 o'clock advisory now down to 65 miles an hour, so the wind is becoming less of a factor, but still 65-mile-an-hour sustained winds can cause power outages, down trees as well, especially when the ground is so saturated now. Those trees and that root system won't be nearly as strong. This is Saturday, again at 8 o'clock. You can see 50-mile-an-hour winds, and then it starts to move off to the west very slowly, and then it gets picked up by a trough and carried off into the Atlantic eventually. But for this most part, for the next 36 hours, we are going to see a good chance for some heavy rainfall continuing. You can see those bands continuing to line up hundreds of miles, at least 150 miles south of New Bern, and that continues to roll right into that region, with the center being right near Garden City in Myrtle Beach near South Carolina. And here's that rainfall. This is one of those feeder bands that continues to just work its way on shore. And yes, the estimate's now at 20 inches near Maysville. 20 inches, and also all that area in gray that you see there, that's plus 16 inches of rainfall. And near Oak Island, 13 inches has fallen thus far, and you get the picture. More is on the way. As long as the system is close enough to the Atlantic Ocean, it's going to draw moisture. More storms are going to develop over the course of the next at least 36 hours, and then it goes into the Appalachians, where it will also bring some heavy rainfall. We're watching Isaac falling apart again. It got a little better earlier around 5 o'clock. The Hurricane Center, it's back to a tropical storm. Now, there's not really much to it again this evening as shear is kind of ripping apart, though we start to see some development of some stronger cells there. We'll watch it as it heads off to the west. And by Tuesday of next week, we'll know if it's going to redevelop. We have some dry air in place here, and that means fewer storms around, maybe a few morning showers on Saturday. And then we'll start to see those focus inland in the afternoon. Not much, so the rain chance very small on Saturday. Sunday morning, there's a chance for a few morning showers, again near the coast. And then the main focus will be inland as that sea breeze pushes off toward the east. Currently, it's warm, it's muggy as a result of that west wind, northwest wind now at 6, and the heat index at 91. The high today did manage to get to 88 degrees. Our low this morning was 74. Temperatures currently warm everywhere. There's not a lot of rain around earlier today to cool things off. Temperature now at 83 degrees in Northport. For boaters tomorrow, west winds at 10 knots. Seas will be 2 feet or less with a light chop on the bays and inland waters. The extended forecast calling for just a 20% chance for a few showers on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You can see that there. So there'll still be a few around. Most of that will be inland because of that west wind. Then we get back to the scattered afternoon and evening storms, and they will be pretty heavy, I think, especially if we get some of that moisture from Isaac. We'll be watching the tropics, especially next week around Thursday and Friday. If they were to redevelop and move our way, it would be that time frame that we'd see it. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. We'll have more on Hurricane Florence in just a few moments, but first, another top story we're covering for you today. Police are getting very familiar with a Northport neighborhood after responding to that same area several times in the past week. Today, a neighbor dispute turned deadly. Police say John Krug Jr. shot 62-year-old Carl Berryman this morning. Police say they previously collected Berryman's weapons under the Baker Act, and he has previously shot at Krug's house and car. Krug is now facing second-degree murder charges. The Bradenton City Council has officially approved the treatment center, but it was a controversial vote because of the building's close proximity to Lecom Park in Bradenton. Neighbors say they think it's great to have another space to help those in need, but they're concerned it will bring the wrong kind of people to their neighborhood. Experts say it's a necessity in the community. The new owner of the facility says he intends to offer services with his own private funds. 60 beds will be available for those in recovery. To find out more about this new facility, you can visit our website, mysuncoast.com. A regional summit on opioid addiction and pregnant women wrapped up today in Sarasota. That summit brought together experts from Sarasota, Manatee, DeSoto, and Charlotte counties to discuss the ongoing opioid epidemic. The focus was primarily on women addicted during pregnancy. Dr. Washington Hill has delivered babies for the last 30 years and says this problem has increased in the last 8.
It's a problem for the mothers who have an addiction, whether they're pregnant or not pregnant, and then many of those women who are not pregnant will get pregnant, and then it becomes an addiction issue for them during pregnancy and for their baby.
That summit lasted 2 days and was held at Kaiser University in Sarasota. The murder of a Largo toddler has prompted one state lawmaker to push for change over Child Protective Investigators' caseloads. State Representative Chris Latvala says he plans on introducing Jordan's Law. The proposed law would cut the number of cases a Child Protective Investigator handles by more than half. Jordan Bellevue's mother, Sharice Stinson, is accused of killing her son in a moment of rage and leaving his body in the woods. Court records show Jordan was removed from a violent home at the age of 4 months old. Sarasota County deputies are looking into what they're calling a suspicious incident after a young girl reported a man trying to lure her into his truck. It all happened on Thursday afternoon at the corner of Roosevelt Drive and Harrison Road in Venice. According to a police report, the girl says she was walking home from school when a man in a white truck pulled up and then offered to give her a ride home. The girl ran away to a nearby friend's house and asked for help. She told deputies the man was in his 30s and had no facial hair. The sheriff's office is on alert and the Community Watch has been informed to be on the lookout. 3 local charter schools are now facing penalties by the state, according to an audit report from the 2017 school year. Manatee School of the Arts and Sciences was found to have material weakness in its financial record keeping. The Student Leadership Academy in Venice and Rowlett Academy of Arts in Bradenton were both in non-compliance with government auditing standards. Most of the schools have reportedly made changes to fix those issues. In all 629 audits done on charter schools, the state found 14% of those schools had problems with their financial record keeping. The Venice Downtown Beautification Project is making some headway. The sidewalk construction on West Venice Avenue is mostly complete and reopened to foot traffic. Crews are expected to have all of the sidewalks open for the Venice Main Street Wine Walk next Thursday, September 20th.
We do have new sidewalks coming this coming week, so we have to be closed, which is always difficult, but they are on schedule, or ahead of schedule actually. So we hope to have everything done and complete by season so we can get back to business.
The intersection of Miami Avenue and Nassau Street is also open. Early next week, crews will be closing the intersection of Miami Avenue and Nokomis Avenue to complete underground work. Drivers may be able to use Ponce de Leon Avenue as a detour around that closure. Workers are making progress renourishing the northern end of Longboat Key. 55 truckloads of sand has been delivered so far and more is on the way. Nearly 30,000 tons of sand is expected to be brought in total to help with erosion throughout that area. This area was last renourished 2 years ago. Well, sometimes when reporters cover breaking news, they find themselves in some interesting and scary situations. One example, this video right here. During live coverage of Hurricane Florence in Wilmington, North Carolina, an ABC13 reporter found himself suddenly a part of the story. A side note, he is okay, but take a look.
As we turn around now, there aren't many that we can see. There are starting to be a couple of the people who have stuck around. That gentleman down there in a yellow raincoat is a local. Whoa, look out. Wow. Yeah. All right. I'm okay. We're okay. That was just a not cut. That was a bit of a surprise.
scary situation there, certainly. Well, utility companies are predicting 2.5 million people could experience power outages by the end of the storm. Right now, you can see North Carolina has more than 700,000 people without power. South Carolina has almost 200,000, but the storm isn't even close to being over. Utilities have brought in crews from other states so that they can restore power as quickly as possible once the weather allows them to. Florida has brought in more than 1,000 crews there to help as well. Hotels in our area are actually seeing a decrease in occupancy due to Florence. We spoke to Robert Ferguson of the Sarasota Bradenton Hotel Committee, and he tells us that while Florida is expecting evacuees, they're not coming to the Suncoast. He says hotels in the area have actually seen cancellations because of concerns that they might not be able to travel home should the storm leave their area badly damaged. And Bob, I actually have my own kind of hurricane evacuee. One of my good friends and family members came down here, and she says it's a little ironic that she's here in Florida evacuating from a hurricane.
Yeah,
isn't
that strange? Yeah, right. It seems like you want to go to Kansas or something,
right.
Get away from all hurricane country, but nothing threatening us right now, which is good. But we are going to look at Isaac. Here's the path now. It's still a tropical storm, expected to stay that way tomorrow and then get down to a tropical depression. Notice that bend off toward the Gulf, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
All right, thank you so much, Bob, and thanks for joining us. Straight ahead, Football Friday night with Dwayne Lindo. Stay with us.
I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at score.org.
It's Venice Toyota's monumental model year-end clearance. Rates are rising. For a limited time, 0%. New Toyotas, $8,000 off. With Camrys and Corollas, your choice from $19,900 to $15,000. Shop 24/7 at VeniceToyota.com.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at CaliforniaClosets.com.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with a family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at CaliforniaClosets.com.
It's Venice Toyota's monumental model year-end clearance. Rates are rising. For a limited time, 0%. New Toyotas, $8,000 off. RAVs and Highlanders from $26,900 to $2,900. Shop 24/7 at VeniceToyota.com.
And welcome to another edition of Football Friday Night. I'm your host, Dwayne Lindo. We're in week 4 and are now getting ready and getting into conference play. One team you wouldn't expect is looking to go 4-0, and plenty of exciting games tonight, folks. And if you scored a touchdown in Manatee County tonight, you might just be mentioned on this show. We start with our game of the week. The Palmetto Tigers riding high off their huge win against Riverview last week, traveling to Braden River, playing without their star running back, Knowledge McDaniel. Let's get to it. We've heard this name before. Braden River's Brian Batiste starts it off with this 6-yard run, 7-0 Pirates at this point. Palmetto answers, though, late in the first quarter. The coach's son, Anthony Marino, finds LeJontay Wester for 27 yards. We have a good one here, folks, a 7-7 ball game. The crowd is liking it, too. Second quarter, it's Brian Batiste on 4th and 1. He turns on the Rockets and scampers for 26 yards to give the Pirates the 14-7 lead. And later in the second quarter, Brian Gagg with a pass to Clyde Towsend, and he coughs it up. Palmetto recovers. The Pirates tame the Tigers, though, for a score of 31-28. Lakewood Ranch's coach, Chris Colton, and the Mustangs have a tall order looking for their first win against the stacked Venice Indians, one of the favorites to win Class 7 District 11. I can guarantee you, though, the Mustangs were ready and seemed pumped up for the matchup. But right off the bat, it's these two, the 6'6 quarterback Hayden Wolf to Zach Fryer for the easy score. Extra point is good. 7-0 Indians. And it gets worse. You see there the Mustangs deep in their own territory, and they turn it over. Indians have the ball. Now the handoff to guess who? Brandon Gregory. And just like that, we have a 14-0 ball game. Lakewood Ranch band and cheerleaders trying to rally the troops, but no. It's Wolf to Zach Sessa, who is also the kicker. Another Venice touchdown, 21-0 at this point. The Indians score on a safety, and then this. The handoff to Brandon Gregory, and basically walks it in for 35 yards. You see it there. It got ugly in a hurry. Venice handles business, though, riding off their state championship. They win this one easily, 65-0. And I got to tell you, the area teams in Class 5 are immensely better than they were last year. These teams are starting to play with a lot more discipline. This includes Wauchula Hardy and Booker. The Hardy Wildcats ranked top 10 in the state. They square off on Orange Avenue tonight. Booker High School is feeling the love tonight, wearing some new digs at home. Check them out. All white and gray uniforms manufactured by Under Armour, which the school signed a contract with this summer. But will it translate well on the field? First quarter, first drive, Hardy takes advantage. Taking only a few minutes to score on Quentin Lindsay, he scores 1 yard. They go for 2, but don't convert. It's 6-0 Wildcats. Still in the first, Wildcats' next possession, it's running back Jean St. Louis. 2-yard touchdown run. They try to go for 2 again, but they're denied by Booker D. 12-0 Wildcats. Next Hardy possession in Tornado territory, and this big pass to Trenton Roberson for 5 yards. This time they get the extra point to make it 19-0 Hardy Wildcats. This was a rough one for the Tornadoes, ladies and gentlemen. They fall 49-0. And so far, we've been pretty lucky. The last few seasons have produced torrential downpours, subsequently postponing games to another date. In some cases, those games were never made up. But this year, FHSAA approved a new rule that will eliminate that. If a game is interrupted due to weather, teams will effectively be required to finish the following day or set up a mutually agreed upon date by 9 a.m. the next day. Manatee School District Athletics Director Jason Montgomery says this new rule for interrupted games is a vital one, especially while incorporating the point system.
And with the point system last year, what was happening was you had teams traveling from all across the state to play each other, and it became a real problem in trying to figure out how to handle cancellations and delays. And it even got to the point late in the season where point values were then becoming, it may be a situation where me playing you became less advantageous later in the year because we already knew where the point system had us as far as the ranking goes. This takes all that elimination and guesswork out of it.
Another rule change initiated by the FHSAA is that all teams are now able to increase their roster size during playoffs from a maximum of 60 players last year to 75 players this year. Still to come here on ABC7 Friday Night Sights, and scores from around the Suncoast. Plus, one unlikely team trying to go for their 4th win in as many weeks. Those highlights coming up after the break.
And you're watching Football Friday Nights on ABC7.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Earlier in the show, I spoke highly of Class 5A teams and how well these teams are performing. The Bayshore Bruins, dare I say, are 3-0, looking for their 4th win tonight. Southeast also playing competitive ball, beating Lakewood Ranch last week. Early in the first, Seminoles driving in Bruins territory, and they cough up the ball right on the 1-yard line. The Bruins don't capitalize on the turnover. And at the top of the second, though, Seminoles quarterback finds his receiver, Ty Warren Davis, who slides right onto enemy territory end zone for the touchdown. Great score for them there. Second quarter, the Noles are on a roll. Cheerleaders are seeing it too. They put 3 more points on the board with this field goal. And Bruins tried to answer, but they get denied. Seminole defense just too much, getting knocked back 15 yards, you see there. Just a tough night for the Bayshore Bruins. And they don't get their 4th win. They get the loss. Seminoles beat the Bruins 24-7. Our next Class 7A matchup, the Northport Bobcats travel to Sarasota trying to rack up another win under their belt. But the Sailors looking for their first win on homecoming night. The crowd and the players are pumped for this one. Even the first-year coach, Spencer Hodges, knows this is a must-win. but it's Northport that strikes first. The handoff to Jalen Y as he bats off defenders for the touchdown. And what's this? The Bobcats go for 2. And it's number 2, Jalen Y again with a group of blockers helping him convert the 2-point conversion. 8-0 Bobcats. Sarasota has the ball, and it's Barvensky with a pick 6, takes it to the house. And it's 18-0 at this point. They score a field goal. And it's Sarasota City Commissioner Hagan Brody, a Sarasota graduate, doesn't like what he sees. He's trying to rally the troops. And some good karma, Sarasota fights back. It's Keandre Collins, no relation to ABC anchor Ray Collins. He runs it in for the score to make it 18-7. The Sailors, not done yet though. They punt, Northport fumbles, and the Sailors recover. It sets them up good in good field position. They get a field goal out of it. The Sailors squeak by the Bobcats, 30-26. They get their first win there. Now let's take a look at scores from around the Suncoast. We start off with some Class 8A matchups. Manatee looking to bounce back after a loss to Braden River last week. They win big, I tell you what, 42-7. And Sarasota Riverview Rams, they play Steinbrenner, also in their district. They win that one, 14-7. And also, a couple more scores here. Ida Baker Bulldogs, they're out of Cape Coral. The Charlotte Tarpons lose to them, 44-6. Tough loss for Charlotte there. Also, the Seahawks of Cape Coral, they beat Port Charlotte 31-29. Port Charlotte gets their first loss of the season. The DeSoto Bulldogs play Lemon Bay Manta Rays, another Class 5A matchup. The DeSoto Bulldogs pull that one out just by 2 points, 24-22 DeSoto. And Shorecrest Prep, the Lightning, they lose big to St. Stephen's. Remember, St. Stephen's, a great team. They won the championship the last 2 years. So kudos to them. Also, the Out-of-Door Thunder play Bradenton Christian. Out-of-Door Thunder beat Bradenton Christian 40-24, big win for Out-of-Door. Also, Orlando Christian. I think IMG White probably beat IMG Christian, but Orlando Christian, I think, maybe pulled this one out 34-28. Now it's time for a great part of the show here, Friday Night Sights. Tag those pics on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mysuncoast.com every Friday night, or hashtag FFN7. The first pick we see here, it's a Sarasota band, Sarasota cheerleaders. They're doing it up, trying to rally the troops for Sarasota High, and obviously they win, so they did their job. Kudos to them. And the Sarasota there again, but you know, I mean, they're that good that we have to show that picture again. So again, kudos to the Sarasota Sailors for that win, and the band as well to cheering them on. And also we have ROTC at Sarasota. They're doing it up as well. I'm sure they cheered on the Sailors. And the last pick we have, oh, that was the last pick. So just a reminder, folks, this year you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at the name on the bottom of your screen. And please, every Friday, hand in those picks. Coming up after another short break, next week's matchups and our Fan of the Week. Stick around.
We're the Hardy Wildcats, and you're watching Football Friday Night on ABC7. Woo!
It's Venice Toyota's monumental model year-end clearance. Rates are rising. For a limited time, 0%. New Toyotas, $8,000 off. With Camrys and Corollas, your choice from $19,900 to $15,000. Shop 24/7 at VeniceToyota.com.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. There is no obligation and the book is free. Call or go online right now.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
It's Venice Toyota's monumental model year-end clearance. Rates are rising. For a limited time, 0%. New Toyotas, $8,000 off. RAVs and Highlanders from $26,900 to $2,900. Shop 24/7 at VeniceToyota.com.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Now, this is a great part of the show, time for our Fan of the Week. And in this case, it would be Fans of the Week. Right here, the Southeast Seminole cheerleaders. Southeast Seminoles, they beat Bayshore. I think they upset Bayshore because remember I said earlier in the program, Bayshore at 3-0, they wanted to go 4-0, but Southeast Seminoles kind of put the kibosh on that, and I think the Seminole cheerleaders probably had a lot to do with that. A few of the games next week, folks, that we need to look out for. Tampa Alonzo at Riverview. Northport's playing DeSoto County. Also, Lakeland, Lake Gibson at Palmetto. Fort Myers at Charlotte and Sarasota at Port Charlotte. I think those are our big matchups for next week. And you need to tune in because this is where you get our highlights and all the great scores. Stick around.